Aloha mai kako, e ka ohana Kamehameha. I have Kumu Nicki Barsamian here with me today. Nicki was a kumu at our kula vaina, and she taught art. You're also a graduate, Polole?
Yeah.
6?
06. OG 06.
Yeah. So mahalo for joining me today. Want to talk story a little bit about this awesome unit that I heard about through the grapevine that you implemented in your art papa. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So this is about our, I guess the title we called it was Why, W-H-Y, Wai, W-A-I. And it was a project for my 8th graders, a mixed media class. And basically the structure of that class was the tagline or the subheading of that class, as I called it, Art in Action. And so basically creating pieces of art that did something, accomplished something, whether it was a personal thing, whether it was trying to teach something, show something. And so what we did is we did all of the lessons. We kind of structured it like a inverted pyramid. We started with global things, global issues. For our global project, we did like a portrait of an orphan in another part of the world. And that was an opportunity to learn about a part of the world and then do a service project for that. And then we kind of went down so that their final project was like a personal piece that they did about themselves. And so our why project was for Hawaii or Maui, I think it was. And so, yeah, essentially all it was is they learned about, the students took the opportunity alongside me to learn about water rights issues on Maui, because it was something that I knew was an issue. But personally, I actually didn't know that much about it. It was something that I learned about. And so basically they took the opportunity alongside me to research water rights. And then we created a piece of public art that they installed around campus, and then also in Wailuku town, and they installed it also at UH Maui campus. So we had sort of a community mindset as well for that.
Very cool. I like the title, or it's very punny. Why, but also kind of a tongue twister. I do want to call out that unit planning is genius because, we think of like that inverted pyramid, but it's also very Hawaii in a sense. It makes me think of moʻokūauhau, where you start from those all the way before you, and then you end with you. Yeah. That mindset. So just trying to find those connections.
It's all connected.
Totally. Yeah. Can you talk through what exactly was the lesson and the installation?
Sure. Yeah. So the lesson we did is we probably spent a week or two just with background information. I had a series of questions that they were responsible for answering. And just like you said, I love how you mentioned the moʻokūauhau, is that it's all connected. And that's my goal for most of my lessons, especially artwork, but it's to make it personal. So we started the research process of just like very broad, very, what are water rights issues? I could send out the resources if you want them. And then the last one was, how does it impact you on a day-to-day basis? How does water impact you? Like, look at your home, look at your community, your family. Do you have any land that you guys, as a family own? Just what would it look like if you didn't have access to water, etc. So they probably spent, I think it was about a week of just background information researching. And then what they had to do is they had to basically design a poster. The poster we used the large scale printers to then print it. It was just a, black and white, very simple lines, because the idea is that they were going to be cutting them out and creating stencils, 24 by 36 inches. And then the stencils were then used, we laminated them. All of our friends at Xerox, mahalo. We laminated them and then we cut them all out with X-Acto knives. And then we used a hydrophobic spray to basically spray them. We just bought it at Home Depot. It's like for concrete ceiling, I think, I think we bought the one for fabric because the concrete lasted 10 years and our campus didn't want that. Ops was not excited about a 10-year art installation. So we bought the one for fabric and it lasted about 10 weeks, which was better than 10 years. And then they just sprayed through their stencils and then we filmed it. We have a video of them installing it. And then as with all of my projects, after they did that, they wrote an artist statement just about like, you know, what they learned, how they, what the process of creating the art and doing the research, and then how it felt at the end to sort of have their work on public display, not only on campus, but also in a very public setting. You know, it was on Market Street, right along the sidewalks there, and then also at UHMC. So to sort of have those two experiences of like your artwork is on display for the community, your school, and the larger community. So yeah.
That's huge. Everyone's trying to accomplish that today, is having authentic audiences for us. And like, that's why this project is such a great example, because it's fun, it's engaging, it connects that pilina piece. It's the lens is Hawaiian, but then there's authenticity too. So mahalo for sharing that and walking us through that. I'm curious, how makoko, when you started this, how makoko did you feel with water rights and Hawaiian culture-based education in general?
Yeah, good question. I think it's always important to model for your kids, you know, like you have to be humble, because I didn't know, I was no expert. And even in the art itself, I had never done this before. It was literally, I saw a cool YouTube and I was like, neat, I want to try that.
Taking a
yeah. So, you know, it was definitely a novel thing on all accounts. And so, so I just took the opportunity to learn right along with my students, and, you know, learning about water rights. I did the research alongside them. You know, like I created the questions without knowing the answers. And that's okay. That's okay, because, you know, it says, hey, we're going to learn about this together. And I don't know the answers to this, but this is an important thing to know. Like I should know. And you're so lucky to be learning this in 8th grade. And so, yeah, so that was kind of it. I don't know. It was something I was interested in. I just had a personal interest in it because, like I said, it was something I didn't know about that I was like, I should know about this. And that was sort of the springboard to go from.
That's like awesome advice for Kumu. Because I always try and think like, how can we help Kumu to find like how to integrate HCBE into their already existing curriculum, or to morph some things or create some new things, and literally starting from your strengths or your interests. Like maybe it's a topic you've always wanted to explore that you never had the time to, but learning alongside your haumana. And that, I think it's awesome that we give our Kumu permission to not know, because that's okay. We don't know everything. Yeah,
definitely. There's a whole bunch of, like, I did not go to school I went to school in New Hampshire. You know, we did not learn anything. I mean, I went to Kamehameha, but, you know, like there was a lot that I even now I don't know. And I like, yeah. So I think that's great. Exactly. Yeah. Start with a passion.
Even for myself, like to use myself as an example, I went to UH, majored in ʻōlelo and ʻike Hawaii. And even to this day, kids will ask me, Kumu, what's the word for this? And sometimes I don't know.
Yeah.
But also, I am not a walking dictionary. I'm not gonna have it. I'm not gonna have it all, even though I majored in ʻōlelo Hawaii. So it's just a testament to like being vulnerable as a Kumu and allowing
lifelong learners.
Yeah, and space to grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Well, mahalo nui for sharing your awesome unit example with us, and hopefully the Kumu can take away some inspirational things for their own curriculum.
Yeah. Definitely. Thanks for having me. It was really, it's fun to go back and remember these lessons.
Yeah, no, mahalo.